If you want to keep my attention, tell me a good story. Hi, I'm Sweeney. I really like what's happening with the speaking profession of late. And I say of late, I really mean in the last 10 years in particular. And it's not that it's something new, it's something that's been around for a long time. Some of the better speakers have always been the ones that had the ability to tell a great story. But I'm seeing it more and more frequently. And I think it's a real positive turn in what's happening to the speaking profession. The power of the story is being leveraged and utilized more and more often. It's allowing us as speakers and presenters to capture our audience's imagination, to reinforce key points that we want to make with them, and doing that through the power of the story. Now, some of you might ask, well, that's okay if you got a story. Well, I maintain that if you're living on this earth long enough that you're doing presentations, you have hundreds of stories. You just don't realize it. And one of the ways to start to capture and kind of connect with those stories is to create an inventory of them. Now, for me, it's just something as simple as a little spreadsheet. I think I have 5 columns in it. I might identify the date, and I put a title to it, something that kind of cues me to what the story is really about. And then there's probably 2 or 3 lines of description that I would use just to further expand on it. You don't want the entire story detailed out. The real power of the story is that it's told differently. Not that you're stretching the truth or doing anything like that. It's just told a little bit differently every single time you tell it or you use it. And that gives spontaneity to what it is that you're trying to share with your audience. And you share it differently, probably because of the way that you're feeding off of them. Something that they've said or done triggers you to deliver the story in that way. And so it doesn't come across as rehearsed. So just having a few lines to kind of put it in context for you is the way to go. And the last thing that I have is I usually put in a couple of what I call keywords or situations where the story might have some benefit for me or some power. And so consider using the stories. And the other thing to think about when you're using stories is to use them for multi-purpose, I call it. So we might use one story to reinforce a particular point, and then maybe a month later we can use that same story to reinforce maybe a somewhat different point or somewhat different perspective. And that's okay, as long as we make the linkage to the story to the point that we're trying to make, as long as we put it in context for our audience. I would love to know what you think about this. If you like it, share it with your friends. Now go out and make your voice heard.